Hello and welcome to Sidequest. This is our weekly video game show here at Geekverse. I'm your host Dylan Moss, and I have with me the Raiding Arcs, Taylor Field. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here and talk shop with you guys.
Absolutely. And then we got the 80% Kirko with us. How's it going, Kirko?
I'm so good. I didn't realize I kept that as my regular name, so I kind of have two nicknames now. But I'm doing good. I'm feeling really good, actually. Just found out I got 80%, so that's always a good feeling. And
beautiful.
This is actually my last 3 days. Then I'm off for 2 weeks for Christmas, and I am very happy about that. So yeah, happy to be here. Talk some shop with you boys.
Talking shop. I like that. We gotta start doing that. Taylor, you have a lot of sayings. I like I said a few weeks ago or a few days ago, I'm gonna steal itinerary from you instead of Backloggd. I like talking shop instead of,
What was the gift that you wanted
else.
to take from me too? What was that one that I dropped?
The archives, the Star Wars archives thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, happy to help.
Yeah.
Taylor's
a
had
lot
some
of-
good gift drops. I think one of my favorite all times that he's dropped on me was, and it was kind of like a shot towards me. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it was the Palpatine from Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Weak like your parents, and it just
Yeah.
it just got me.
It's
And then
so
even
Probably
like
just
the
had
way
to
of
bow
water,
out of a
that
cast, and then he drops that on you. Yeah.
that one Navi too, and the guy's just like does that one look. He doesn't even say anything, but just
Just
I
the
don't know, the guy with
smile,
the
the
shades.
con,
yeah,
the
yeah,
con
that guy.
Navi. Yeah.
You know.
Man, I can't believe people texted before having gifts. I feel like that just changes how I talk online. It's the
Very
best.
true. Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah.
did that for a few years. Today's episode, a really fun one. I'm excited for this. We're going to be talking about Arc Raiders. Taylor has been playing that, the best multiplayer game of the year, according to the Game Awards. We're also, the main topic today is going to be all about Fallout because we are on the eve now of Fallout Season 2 coming out. So we're going to talk about Fallout, pitch some spin-offs, maybe some locations if your name is Taylor Field. So we'll have some fun times with that. And then Kirklin.
Maybe me too. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see where this topic's going to go. But before we get to that, Kirklin, you missed Game Awards last week. So I don't know if you have any just general hot takes, but I know there was specifically 2 trailers, 2 announcements that you wanted to talk about. So yeah, take it away. Tell me about your Game Awards experience.
Yeah, I mean, very lack thereof. Honestly, I feel like I was very just out of the. I was gonna say out of the blue. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that. Out of the loop, I guess, is a better way to say when it comes to Game Awards this year. All I really know is Claire Obscure won, and probably deservedly so. I feel like that was the biggest not surprise of the entire show.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't played the game, but just word of mouth is just like, okay, yeah, this has to win Game of the Year, and just. I don't know, looking at some like the runner-ups or kind of what was in the mix, it just seemed like it was kind of the runaway favorite there. And then yeah, just like every once in a while checking in the Discord and just seeing people pop off with some of the announcements. It's a fun time, even if I'm not like finger on the pulse when it comes to the Game of the Awards. Just like the buzz around, especially on our Discord, it's so much fun. There's people active in there. So yeah, some Star Wars announcements, Resident Evil. Not really anything that like drew me in of like, holy fuck, I can't believe they announced this. Like this is like, I don't know, I'm just telling my aunt and uncle, everyone about this because I'm just so excited. But no, big surprise getting a new Total War game. That was kind of the first one I wanted to mention. It's kind of funny. I always talked about Total War Warhammer and how I have to like differentiate specifically Warhammer Fantasy from 40K, because I feel like 40K is just so much more well known to like the average Warhammer fan, or just anyone that hears Warhammer. They probably think of like the Space Marines, the collectibles, which is mostly about the 40K. They do have like the fantasy side of it, but that's kind of just been like ended with the end times storyline that they did with it. But here we are, we got a new Total War game, and it's Warhammer 40K, and there was a lot of speculation of like where they were gonna go next on specifically the non-historical titles, because of course they have like Total War, Napoleon, Shogun, stuff like that. But then they also have like the more fantasy titles, which is Three Kingdoms, that kind of borderlines between the historical and the fantasy. And then of course Warhammer, which is like, you got lizard people, some magic, like it's just amazing. Like, you know, it's my type of game. I like those a lot more than the fantasy elements. And then 40K was announced. There was some buzz about like who the next IP was going to be, whether it was a Star Wars title. That was kind of like the one that I was really excited for. Yeah. But something that's so fantastic with these Warhammer games, or sorry, these Total War games in general, is the modding scene afterwards. And as soon as I saw 40K, I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like I'm not really big 40k player, but when I watched the trailer, I'm like, man, I can't wait for the Star Wars mod that people eventually make on this. Just completely reskin this, have like the Star Wars factions and just like the galactic level of everything. I think that was also the thing that really surprised me was just like in Total War, it's usually just like a world map that you're kind of going, and the maps are very large, but in this, it's a whole nother level because it's multiple planets and you have like your different like systems, it seems, that you're kind of managing. So some Sins of a Solar Empire, Taylor, so some of those vibes I was thinking of when I was watching the trailer. So super cool there. And I was trying to like be tough, and when I was talking to my other Total War friends that I play that game with, they're like, oh, are you gonna get this? And I was like, no, like I have zero interest in 40k, but man, I had zero interest in Warhammer, and then now that's like specifically Warhammer Fantasy because of the Total War Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 trilogy now that they've done. But I'm sure I will buy this at some point. I have majority of the Total War catalog. That timing, though, I'm so glad I upgraded my computer because there's no way in hell I ever would have been able to run that old one on my old rig. Rest in peace, as it lays behind me, unplugged and dead. But yeah, no, super cool. It's as a fan of just like the Total War series, it's always fun to get a new title, even if I'm not necessarily super keen on the franchise. I know Henry Cavill out there is fucking juicing for this. I'm sure he's I wouldn't even be surprised if he voices like one of like the legendary Lord type characters.
Okay.
Honestly, they had I think Cole Sprouse. If you remember him, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Of course.
He voiced Alithanar, which is like a high elf lord in Warhammer Fantasy, because he's a big fan of the game also. So, and then Ramsay Bolton, is that his name, Taylor, from Game of Thrones? The guy that chops off what's his face wiener.
That's the one.
Yeah, he voiced a character in the Dark Elves race. So they've had like some famous actors do the voice acting, and because Henry Cavill is just such a fan, I would not be surprised at all if he's voicing one of the lords there. So super just fun for the strategy fans. I feel like these game shows that strategy and RTS games and stuff like that, turn-based, they kind of go under the radar when in comparison like the big AAA like big console games I find, but that was definitely a fun announcement for me specifically. And then and then the other one that I wanted to shout out was Ace Combat 8. I don't even remember what the subtitle is. I should probably pull that up, but this is a series that I'm very new to. A couple of years ago on Sidequest, I told you, Dylan, I jumped into Ace Combat 7, and I had no idea. Oh, actually, I think it was around Top Gun Maverick release time. They had like a Top Gun Maverick like DLC so they had like some of like the planes in there. Super good discount on because it's like the PS4 version I think I have on my PS5, and it is just such a fun game, and like I loved everything about it. Again, it was like perfect timing because I was just hyped on Top Gun Maverick, but it's just such a fun game. Like really good replayability, like playing like different like your different planes and stuff, and just I really just love like min-maxing the levels, and like just like if you're doing like a specific, I don't know, bombing type mission, like you have to just take out certain SAM sites or whatnot. I would do it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna replay the level because like I can just do it cleaner and like that much faster, and just really like pin it, like not have to miss my target or anything and loop back. So I had a lot of fun with it. The storyline is like very anime, like just over the top with some of the characters and the threats and whatnot. Like it definitely is more of an arcadey type game versus the simulator, like what a flight simulator would be. But I think that's what makes it more fun because it's just faster paced. Like, a regular fighter jet doesn't have 87 rockets, but fuck, is it ever fun to have 87 rockets when you're going through a level? So big fan of the series, and I think on that cast I mentioned, I'm like, man, whenever they get the next one, I'm there day one. I'm so down. So nice. There was no date it was just 2026 coming, so I'm gonna be there when it drops. And this trailer, it looks so good. Like I as a fan of the previous game, everything they're showing, like the first person thing when you're on like the carrier, like none of that was in the last game. So okay. I'm super down. I'm so pumped here. Your call sign is Trigger in the previous game. Sounds like your call sign's Rex here. So I'm let's go T-Rex. Here we go.
That's amazing. No, I love to hear that passion, because I know, you did bring that up on SideQuest once, but like, I don't think it's come up like very often. So that's fun to hear. That's like super exciting for you. That's great.
Yeah. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief, which the first time I saw that, I thought it was Wings of Thieves. It's spelled
Wings of
Theve. Yeah, Theve. And it does
Whoa.
seem like the
What does that mean?
storyline. I mean, it's a title, but so all the letters are capitalized. But I imagine it's a proper noun. Thieve, maybe it's like the name of the carrier. Who knows? But they did mention like one of the like the nation from the previous game. So I'm curious if it is in order, because I know like the earlier titles, they were very different than what the game is now. It's a very old franchise. Well, not very, very old, but like for where we are now, the game's changed a lot of just like having a lot more of a narrative story, whereas back in the day, they were just purely arcade games. But yeah, no, it's cool to kind of see that maybe the world that I kind of learned about in the last game is going to be just expanded upon in this next title. And Taylor, I know you're a flight simulator guy. Come on, get on this Ace Combat. You even dropped Ace Combat in the group chat. I don't know if that was a meme or whatnot, but I saw you message and I'm like, let's go. I'm down Ace Combat.
I'm feeling it. I really am. Like I remember back in the day, I was playing Hawks. Yeah, flight simulator. Like and Hawks is a good time. Hawks 2 especially, but like it definitely had its Tom Clancy's Hawks when he was popping out like Rainbow Six, End War, Ghost Recon, and Hawks. The fact that I got a sequel, I don't understand. But
oh yes, okay,
you know it. You know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Never played
game.
it, but I remember the cover for sure.
Oh yeah. So it's something that I'm definitely interested in Ace Combat. Like the other ones always look so fantastic and detailed. So I'm there with you. Let's team up. Let's do some strafe runs. Oh man.
Oh yeah, we'll do online competitive twos.
You guys got to bring back the Sunday streams for that. I would be down at.
Yeah, I got the new rig now. I can actually handle
Yeah.
OBS. Dylan, we can jump back into what were we playing that one time?
Zomboid?
Zomboid for sure. There was a couple. We played Portal. I don't know if we finished Portal 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We also played It Takes Two, I think, but that would have been on Games Pass, I imagine, because I don't think I have it on.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Whip out the
whatever.
streams again. That'd be fun.
Whatever. We're gonna be playing some games now, so let's do it.
Theve, also known as Theve City, is the capital city of the Federation of Central UC. It's USEA, so it makes me think it's
Uja.
almost like Uja. Okay.
Yeah, Uja.
Federation
The
of
nation of
Central
Uja.
Uja.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's where
Which is
I guess
a
that's what
nation
it's
from the
reference
previous
to.
game. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot
Cool.
of cutthroat, betrayal in that storyline. Again, very anime. Very, very ridiculous with some of the plots, what's going on, but I eat that stuff up, so I'm very excited for this. And definitely like more of a surprise than the Total War announcement, I think. And probably shouldn't have been, because it's been a long time since that previous title. And I feel like they're pretty popular, at least like especially in like the Japanese community. I think that's what the games kind of originate from. So pretty hyped on this. People have their
Yeah, I
Resident
guess-
Evil announcements, and I'm over here with my Ace Combat. Let's go.
No, that's what we need. We need diversity in the panel here of different interests and stuff. But yeah, because I guess like Warhammer 3 was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
yeah, they announced that they're like doing Creative Assembly's doing Alien Isolation 2. So I don't know. I presume they have multiple teams there, right? Like I
They
assume
must,
it's a
yeah.
huge studio that has like multiple divisions working on stuff at the same time. Because I imagine Warhammer 3 is still getting like updates and stuff
Yep.
too. Like they're still
Yes.
working on stuff.
They
there,
just got
so-
a new DLC that like
Yeah.
literally just came out, and then they announced another one, and then they're still getting DLCs for like the historical titles. So I don't know exactly
Man,
like
they
where
are freaking
the-
outputting stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. There's still many things they have to fix that the community keeps railing on them for not fixing, but so they do some things bad, but they do some things good, and
Yeah. I guess if you're supporting like 20 games at the same time, you can only do so much.
yeah.
That must be hard to be a manager there. That would be that'd be hell. But interesting. Okay, cool. Thank you for shouting out that stuff. Let's kick it over to Taylor now. Arc Raiders, as I mentioned, won Best Multiplayer Game at the Game Awards. People have been raving about this game. Kirklin's going to go play it right now. Taylor, tell us all about your experience with Arc Raiders in the last month or two.
Yeah, so this was just kind of
See, I can hear when you talk about me now. I didn't take the headphones off. Wireless.
This is just like, I don't want to say a fluke, but like I had that is a nice mat to stand on. Oh,
Fatigue mat. Must.
I gotta get one of those.
We got one of those at our kitchen sink, washing
Yeah,
dishes.
that's why I just grabbed it from. I pushed Shay out of the way to grab it.
Nice.
Those are so nice, underrated mats. Yeah, so I don't even remember when I first heard about it. I know I saw it on my Xbox like on advertised and whatnot. And then when I was at work, a few people started talking about it. And the one guy I talked to a lot about video games, he says that he picked it up because he steered me onto Helldivers and he wanted to get Helldivers, but he never ended up picking it up. But this is the one he did hop onto, his Arc Raiders. And so thought, you know what? Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's having a good time. Why not? It'll be the birthday gift to myself, so I bought it. And I just thought, let's just dive into this and see what it's all about. And it totally has just stolen the spotlight for me. I can't believe there's a time where I didn't have this game in my library, because it's an absolute blast. And when I first started playing it, I was definitely terrified of running into other people because I didn't trust other people. I don't know how many people are loaded into a map. There's a few things I've intentionally avoided Googling and looking into because I like having the unknown factor as a variable.
Nice.
So when I drop into a game, I don't know. Like, you drop into a match, you have 30 minutes to get as much loot as you can and then exfil out of there. If you don't exfil out, then you die basically. So you got to make sure you exfil out. And so I don't know much about the story aside from that some alien entity or something just came to Earth, and there's these arcs, these robots that just kind of patrol the surface, and humanity has been pushed underground. So that's basically the gist of the story. So you have to go up to the surface. You got to basically hit all of these different places that you could find to salvage loot. And when you have all that salvage loot, then you can build things. You can upgrade guns, and you have workbenches. It's a huge game based on crafting and such. So I like that aspect quite a bit. But the PvPvE is just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like I said, I'm terrified of people in this game. I've met some great people that are really friendly, and like, you got your emote wheel. I don't really talk with my headset because I feel like people that are talking, I don't necessarily trust them because just they're weird. They're very weird, and it is crossplay. But like, I'll be running around and I can see the microphone pinging. I'm like, okay, someone's nearby, and then you hear people singing to themselves as they're looting. It's like, I don't trust these guys. But for the most part, you've got your emotes. You can be like, don't shoot, and your guy will throw his hands up. So usually throw that out. And I can't kill people. Like, I will defend myself, but I just don't feel comfortable just killing people and ruining their day.
Like just stabbing people in the back.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
you can do that. They're called rats in this game. That's the specific term. So
I think
there
that's just like a universal term for them. People that do that, stab you in the back.
I was running around this area because there's 5 different locations, and each location has different like variants that'll hit. Like, it's usually they're daytime, but then they'll be like, okay, for an hour and a half you can play the nighttime version where you get better loot, but there's more robots on the surface, or there's like geomagnetic storms that are out, like all these different variables that give you better loot. So I was doing one of the maps that's all indoors and it's small and enclosed, like it's a facility. And I bumped into this guy, and he's like, I won't shoot you. It's all good. And I was like, yeah, don't shoot. So he goes off, and I hear, you can hear things in the distance. And so nearby, I hear a guy do the emote where his character just says, don't shoot. And the guy's like, I won't shoot you, man. I won't. And then all of a sudden, I hear like gunfire just blast, and the guy with the microphone's like, wow, we got a fucking rat here, man. So, someone come and kill this fucking rat. So I went over there to help him, and I tried fighting, and the guy's down. Like, when you're downed, you can either get eliminated there, or you can get resuscitated and brought back with a defibrillator. So I'm in there, and I'm trying to help him. I'm shooting the guy, and he's like, kill this fucking rat, man. Yeah, go get that bastard. And I died. I wasn't able to hold my own, but when you die, you lose all your stuff, and you start from scratch. Unless, like, if you exfil with your things, you can put them in your stash, and then you craft things, and you craft out your inventory and whatnot. Right. So that's a pretty cool aspect of the game. But the big thing, though, are just dealing with the different arcs and the different robots, too, that you got to put up with. You got, like, leapers that are like these giant spider-like things that just jump across the map at you. You got drones flying around. You got, like, heavy armored crab-like walkers. And you got the queens, these big fucking walkers that walk up buildings and stuff. Like they're huge matriarchs, but it's so cool because however they design these robots, it's so intuitive because when you got the drones flying around, it's like a quadcopter kind of thing where they got four props, and if you fire and land your shot on one of the propellers, you see this thing struggle and start to like give out its own weight, like because it can't activate that one fourth propeller anymore. So if you shoot another one and then two of them are down, then it's really like struggling, and sometimes it'll just like bizz out and like crash. You can shoot like the legs off of these things too. It's really really enjoyable. Yeah.
That's great. What is the percentage of time that you're dying and losing all your shit and not exfilling from a level?
I pride myself on being very silent and very, very. I know when my time is up in an area, and so I get out of there. Now that being said, I've had some runs where it's like 4 or 5 times I drop in and I get killed each time. Sometimes I make a stupid mistake and the arcs will see me and they'll gang up and there'll be like 5 of them, or a missile hits me. Like it's crazy. But then you throw in the few times that players will kill you, and you run into you go to, like, it's like a bunker. You run up to it, you trigger the elevator, and you wait about like 30 seconds. The elevator comes up and you got to go in there and like activate the computer to send you back down, and you're safe. I'll run into there sometimes, and it'll just be a guy that just runs out of the bush and guns you down and kills you right when you're about to extract and get out of there. So you really gotta
rat.
You gotta play your play it safe and like be aware of your surroundings all the time and whatnot.
Because there's like multiple extraction sites too, right? Like you can go for like earlier ones, so I guess you can like lower your risk level that way by just getting out early if you're not feeling super confident.
And that's where I get confused on how it works, because if you drop into a game and everyone else isn't dropping in at the same time, I'm pretty and maybe I'm wrong on this, but from my experience, I feel like when I'm dropping in there, at that 30-minute mark starts counting down, I'm pretty sure that people have been in there for like 10, 15 minutes already, and I'm just joining it midway through. I don't know if that makes sense, because I say that based on the fact that I'll drop in and I'll immediately go somewhere where I know there's good loot and it's already been looted. Now maybe it was just I was beaten to it, but I feel like there's people that are already well established. People are already in certain spots. They're already waiting. They're already fighting arcs and whatnot. So, but maybe I'm wrong on that. That's just how it feels every time I drop into a game, which I like. It just feels like a constant like played session.
Yeah, I guess it makes it feel like a more real world. I guess in that way. But yeah, is there? Where does obviously you mentioned like there's nighttime variants or there's like the geometric storms and stuff. But is there just like, are you kind of going to the same maps over and over again, and there's just like slight variations here and there, and like loot's different and that kind of stuff, or is it like is there random generation with the maps?
They're usually, the locations are all the same when you drop in on these places, and yeah, it's just the loot that's really different. Yeah, so the main thing you're looking for is blueprints. You're looking to kill some of these higher, stronger arcs to get better rewards and stuff, to craft better weapons and whatnot. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of places I haven't explored. But you look at the map, like some of the maps, they seem small when you're looking at them overhead, but they're large, and it takes a while to kind of cover a lot of ground. So,
like, you're not going to do it in one 30-minute session. You're going to have to really learn those maps by doing them time and time again, I guess.
Yes, yeah. And so there's a few places that I've not really branched out and gone to explore, which I should. I should probably go and see what's up. But I know that there's, what is the map called? I think it's just called the Dam, actually. And there's a tall, like, one skyscraper in there that I go to, and I just know I can hit all the offices and I can search all like the lockers and stuff, and I make out with a whole chunk of just like spare change that I can just sell and just make a killing off of. So that's good. You can buy more inventory spaces, which is really, really nice. And yeah.
I was asking my friend who's been playing a lot. We went out for lunch yesterday, and he said that he, like, even though he's been playing for a few weeks and he's like higher level, or he's like unlocked some stuff, that it's not going to be like super weird if I jump in now and I'm like a lower level player, because it's kind of It's not like you're getting like just significantly better weapons than other players. Obviously, you get like inventory spaces. You mentioned things like that, but would you agree with that? That like it doesn't really matter so much if I play with you, who's a higher level than me.
It doesn't matter. No, like you hop in there, and I mean you're gonna be getting loot, right? And if you die, you can generate a basic preset inventory for you, which gives you like the basics to go back in.
Okay, yeah.
And then you also can get like, if every round you have a rooster. He's like your pet rooster. And he'll give you a basic amount of supplies to, again, craft stuff and get started. So that happens. He generates every single round, which is really, really nice. And you can upgrade him so he generates more supplies for you too. So they definitely set up these different baselines for you to kind of keep up, and it doesn't take long to level up. It's really quick. If you're looting and searching lots of places, then you're going to be ranking up and getting a lot of XP really, really fast. The other thing too, shoot, what was it? Oh, so we just found out that there's this kind of system that they have in play where if you're calm and you're friendly, the servers will prioritize putting you in calm servers.
I saw an
with
article
players.
about that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah, it's
That's so
crazy,
cool.
but if you're a rat, they'll put you with the other rats. So
Or they're playing a long con. They're like trying to get with all the calm servers.
That's
And
true,
they're like, now I can
yeah.
just rat out and get everyone.
oh yeah. Yeah. But I think you guys would enjoy it. Like it feels like it's got the level of stress has just freaked me out, but I love it and I crave it. And so I think it has that stress factor of being in the final circle of Warzone, and you get your loadout, you get everything, and you're set up, you're ready to go. And then it has the vibe of Helldivers, where shit, like it can get really out of control really fast. You've got all of these robots on you, or let's say like you're teaming up when there's like 7 or 8 other players around you, and you're gonna all take down this giant matriarch robot, the queen, and you're all working together, and then you guys destroy it. It's like, hell yeah, we did it, and you all start picking up loot, and then everyone just starts killing each other, and it's like, oh, everyone's fighting to get all the good loot here, and it's just a bloodbath, right? So yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's been, I feel like this game just came out of nowhere. Like I just started seeing it on Reels or like on Instagram, and then you got it, and then I was like, what the hell even is this game? Like I was seeing gameplay and I thought it was different game. But super popular though, and it definitely sounds amazing, and I'm sure it'd be up my alley. If it was free to play, I'm sure I would have already been in there, but I'll definitely wishlist it and keep my eye on the radar. Because yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not a full price game, but I think it's like $50 or something. But
Yes.
still, little too much for me right now.
I think I will pick it up. I have, like you, Taylor, I have a lot of time off coming up here in the next couple weeks, so yeah, I think it'd be like a good time for that. It's like three-man lobbies, right? Like with your friends, you can do.
Yeah, 1, 2s, and 3s. And I think I read too that they were putting like the 1-man versus the 2-man sometimes together, which is just scary.
Oh yeah, that sounds rough. Maybe they put the single rats in there with the teams. Just punish their players. Cool. Anything else on Arc Raiders, Taylor?
When I bought the game, they had a really cool outfit that I wanted to buy, so I got the outfit too. And I was buying like, they have like the different amounts of credits that you can buy, like $5.99 it gets you 600, or you can spend $10.99 and you get 1,100, and how it works like that. And so I was calculating it like, okay, I gotta buy these 2 coin packs to get this outfit, and so I did that, and somehow it ended up paying for the extra deluxe edition. So I already had the base game, but then I bought the $30 upgrade on top of that. I was like, well, what the fuck? But it gave me a bunch of extra cool stuff that, I mean, I've gotten my money's worth out of the game, so I'm happy with it. But there's a lot of cool cosmetics in here that you can work with. And on that note, my character outfit that I got, it has a lantern on the backpack, and you can put different trinkets on your backpack, but the lantern, I didn't clue in with that. I thought it was just a thing that was there, and when you play nighttime mode. So the first time I'm doing a nighttime mode, I got this fucking light. I'm like, this is a bitch because everyone can see me in the dark. And then I saw other players running around like they don't got fucking lanterns on them. What is this? And so
And you can't turn it off mid-mission?
you can't, no. So I'm running around with this
That's so
fucking
funny.
light on me, and I'm trying to hide in bushes, and people are killing me and shit. So finally, I figured out, oh, I can actually keep the backpack, but take the lantern off. And I'm just thinking, who would ever wear this fucking lantern? Just a joke. So
Or buy
Yeah,
it,
maybe,
like you
maybe
did.
bait. You know, if you have a team of 2 or 3, you get one guy with the lantern to go out in a public area. Rats come to get him, and then your boys, swarm him. Maybe
Oh,
that's
It's literally
right.
like
You could
those
go for it.
fish, the deep sea
anglerfish,
fish.
yeah,
the
yeah.
anglerfish. You just chomp
Yeah.
them.
The anglerfish strategy. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's for, I guess.
you can maximize though your returns in that game if you have a good squad. You got like a guy that's focused on being a medic, and then you got other guys that are like, I got all the ammo and all that kind of stuff. Another guy just protect him, and he just like loots and just gets everything because
He's the rat.
he's the rat. Yeah.
Or do you? Because I remember when we were playing Helldivers early on, you were like, you want the fucking mech. That was your goal. That was what you were building towards. Do you have something like that in this game? Is there something down the skill tree or the level up progression, whatever the heck, is in this game that you're like really looking forward to? I know you said you're not trying to look up too much about the game, so maybe you're just trying to play it by ear.
Yeah, well, there's one item I really want, and it's a grappling gun, which is
Oh,
just a total
nice.
game changer. Because I'm seeing people when they're fighting these queens, they just pull out their grapple gun, shoot it, and they just like fly up on top of this thing. They throw landmines down on like this little
Oh my
like
God,
manhole on the
that's
top
fucking
of this
awesome.
head, and it blows up the manhole. And inside you see the energy core, and so they just start like shooting at it and taking it down. Like that's really cool. There's a lot of really neat ways of like barricading doors and getting around faster that I want to get and unlock. But the skill tree, that takes some time, but it's fun.
Awesome.
As it should,
That's-
you know.
that's
You
great.
shouldn't just be able to buy the skill tree, like with real money. Or can you actually do that in that game?
Not
You
that I
probably
know
could.
of.
Okay, that's good. It's like what Star Wars Battlefront had that like way back in the day. It was like literally pay to win.
Like
People were
$40
just, like-
to get Darth
Yeah.
Vader.
and then they would just shit on you because Darth Vader was like
Yeah.
overtuned.
And then they only put you in Darth Vader lobbies, just like the rat lobbies.
It's the opposite
It's
effect.
a bunch
yeah.
of pay to wins in the same lobby together. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, I do want to pick this game up, so we'll probably talk about more on Sidequest in the near future. Let's take a moment to thank our Patreon producers: Aaron Braden, April of Darkness, Jack Grant, Sam, Superbad Mike, TGGLM69, Charlie Rendell, Cocktail Clay, John with No H, and Sam Green. Thank you all so much for supporting the show, keeping the lanterns on, Taylor's backpack there. Yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff going on right now. We just finished it, but we're just about to start Fallout, as I mentioned. We've got Avatar review, Fire and Ash, both of them at the same time, coming from these two boys here in the lobby with me. Not me, but just the boys.
Oh,
in
you're
the
not there?
lobby.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. I don't get James Cameron. He's too smart for me. I'm too
Right.
dumb for his
Forgot
big brain.
that.
But yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. It's a bunch of fun things on the Patreon. You get episodes early and ad free. It's the best place to support this podcast if you want to do so. But yeah, thank you for that. Next week's episode will be the Game of the Year episode, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I'll have played Arc Raiders before that, so it'll be my Game of the Year minus Arc Raiders consideration. But maybe I'll, truncate. I think I did this last year where I like changed my Game of the Year like 2 months in or something. So these things happen, they're fluid. But yeah, let's jump to a quick ad break and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. And let's talk about some Fallout. So yeah, obviously season 2 of the TV show is coming out. I just finished season 1 today. Again, rewatched that, which was fun to do. And me and Travis actually had like a little conversation about Fallout recently when they announced. What did they announce? They announced like a new 76 DLC or I think it was like Fallout 4 edition. We were talking about just like the state of Fallout, and it's kind of it's just been on ice for a bit, like to an extent. Like obviously 76 is pumping out updates left, right, and center. I'm sure Fallout Shelter is still getting like new updates. I think that game is still like kicking. And Fallout 4 just got its new like anniversary collection. And I think a lot of people though have also been like, okay, well if Oblivion got that remake, and Fallout New Vegas and Oblivion are on that same, or Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 are on that same engine, maybe I wonder if those games will get a remake, remaster. Hasn't happened yet. But it's been a long time since Fallout 4, right? That was like a decade ago at this point. And yeah, I got some DLCs and we got Fallout 76. But like it's been a long time since we've had a mainline game, and we still don't even really have any information on Elder Scrolls 6 that's meaningful. So you have to imagine that it's going to be like, is it going to be another decade before we get another mainline Fallout, which feels insane, but just think about the fact that Skyrim came out 15 years ago and we still don't even know when the heck that sequel's coming out. So that's just game development, but it's also Bethesda. It's also the fact that they they take on Starfield now, so they have like a third pillar. Well, who knows if it'll continue to be a pillar, but that's obviously a big reason why these series have taken longer than they normally would. But yeah, I think in lieu of that, like obviously these remakes, remasters would be good. I think Fallout 3 and New Vegas are both games that could use that. I think 3 more so than New Vegas, just because the combat in the game kind of sucks ass. But there's still a lot of valuable stuff to be found in the game overall. And so I've wanted to have this discussion. I think the Fallout Season 2 is a good time to do it, of just like, what else could we do with Fallout in the meantime? What are some spin-offs that we could do? And so it sounds like you guys maybe interpreted this differently than I did. I was thinking more like genres, like different ways we could make Fallout games without it strictly being, just a different Fallout game in like a different location. But if you guys want to talk about locations, I'm happy to do that too, because I think that's also a fun discussion. So where are you guys at with this?
I covered both categories, actually, because
Okay.
I was definitely in the, let's just pick new locations, because that's what we're doing. Because I quickly read your message last night right before going to bed.
And my message was a quick one sentence, so I don't blame you at all.
And then as we started this cast, the creative juices have been flowing.
Okay.
So I've definitely, I definitely got some to bring up.
Okay, sounds good. So maybe I'll kick it off then. I have one to throw at you guys right off the bat, and I've written down 5 here. I think a couple of them I have like more detail on, and then I'm curious to hear what you guys have as well. But yeah, my first one here is something that we kind of already have, but just a more dedicated version of it, and that would be like a settlement / like vault building game, like a tycoon type game, because we have Fallout Shelter, as I just mentioned. But that's like 2D, and it's also a mobile game, and it's like you have to buy gems and whatever the fuck you have to do in that game, and no one wants to do any of that. And then in Fallout 4 and in what the heck, 76, they've really built out the settlement system. You can like actually build things. But if you do that in Fallout 4, you gotta like scavenge for screws and frickin' plywood.
Takes so long.
and
It's like
it takes
endgame content.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's like a UI for it, but it's just slow and sluggish. And I just want a true top-down isometric camera angle, build out settlements, build out vaults. I think I'm actually more interested in building vaults, because I think the idea of just like planning the hallways and the recreational spaces, especially after watching Fallout Season 1 again and thinking about like the whole farm area they have and like putting things like that in a vault would be really fun. Thinking about just like, the school has to be like in this, the school should be here, the kitchen should be here. You got to think about the power systems and all of that. And then obviously the vault, or the settlement system, I think has some fun potential as well. And so I have a couple more pitches for that specifically. But yeah, I think a dedicated game that takes the good parts from Fallout 4 and 76's building, takes the Fallout Shelter ideas of like resources and building specific rooms and power rooms and water purification rooms and all that stuff, but really just putting it into like the genre that it belongs in, and like an actual full game and not just a mobile game. I think that's something I really want. I think would have a lot of fun with. And even just, like between settlements and vaults, those are two totally different styles of things. If it's a game that just focuses on one or allows you to do both or other things, I think that would be really, really cool. So I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea. I definitely was trying to think of something that you like, or creative mode in, but I think like what you pitch with the roller coaster tycoon type take on it is really fun. And yeah, just like crafting vaults, that sounds so fun. And even if you wanted to get more into like the apocalyptic realm, you could have a title almost like oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name right now, Dylan. You're gonna have to help me out. It's where it's like an apocalypse and you're like re-bringing back life with your systems, and then once you're done,
that game
Terra Nil,
yeah,
something
there you
like
go.
that, where you're
I like
it's
that a lot.
post-apocalyptic, but then you're like building up a settlement on like water purification system, like what you just pitched. And I think that is a pretty easy, well, I don't know anything about video game making, but easier than like a full AAA title, new Fallout title game.
And it feels like they've already thought about a lot of what that would look like. And then I think even just like you know, I don't think Bethesda would actually make this game. It would probably be some other Xbox studio or something like that. But even then, like, you know, Starfield like really even built up the settlement system more, and so obviously they've been cooking with some of that stuff, so it feels like somewhat transferable there. And one of my mini things for this, Kirklin, and you're gonna like this in particular, is I think a fun way to go about, like, specifically not the vault part, but like building out a settlement on the surface would be also maybe a part of it of not just building, but also like managing the people, which obviously you do in like Roller Coaster Tycoon. You hire like guards or you hire like, you know, janitors or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think like maybe picking individual people, or maybe if you're not even controlling them, but you're just like kind of managing the world they live in, and they get named NPCs and stuff. But I think the fun part would be the idea of like choosing who is allowed to join your settlement, because that's such a big thing about Fallout. You can never tell, like, you never know if someone's a rat, you know, using the Arc Raiders reference there. And so I feel like a Papers, Please-esque thing where there's like a guy at the gate who's like, okay, let's read this guy. Does his story make sense? Where did he come from? What is his goal here? What does he want from us? Does he just want to trade? Does he want to live here? Yeah, is he a ghoul? Is he not? Is he a super mutant? And I feel like you could have a real fun time with that, of like also being a little border guard of like, who's coming into our settlement here, and then like building up defenses, you know, the more popular your place gets too. So I think there's a lot of potential there that I think could be make for a really fun game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like my mind's just going now on like what you could add to this type of game. And come on, Bethesda, let's get it going. Sounds amazing.
Do it. Yeah. Kirkland, what is the first one you have for us here?
First one on my list is Fallout Siberia, because that was just a location game. The first one came to my mind because I'm like, fuck yeah, let's have a Fallout in Russia. But you know what? Scratch that. That's not what we're here talking about now. I have we have many dungeon crawler type games. We got Diablo, Minecraft made one. Let's do a Fallout one. I feel like, like initially when you think of Fallout, it's very open of like an RPG. Like you can kind of do anything. You can make your character a melee character. You can make your character a sciencey type character that you're crafting things, and just like a classic rifleman type play style. I feel like you could really just like designate like classes though, and because Fallout is such a expanded world and like it has its own lore with super mutants and ghouls and stuff like that, like there's so many little various dungeons, I guess, that you could do, whether they are vaults, whether they are just different areas in the world, and then of course in like that isometric top down just dungeon crawler looter type, like this one might be a hard one to pitch, if I'm actually in the boardroom meeting trying to sell it on but I feel like Fallout, I mean,
it's kind of just like what the original games were, right? It's almost a little bit like
that's
one
a good point,
2.
actually. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah,
I mean, they're more than that, but I think you're pitching more of like specifically a combat dungeon
totally. Yeah. And you're going all in on like, okay, we got seasons, just like how all like Path of the Exile does, Diablo. Like I think there's people that like only play those types of games, and they would be getting on that. And then of course just Fallout fans, I think, would jump on that, because Fallout fans, I'm sure, have been playing Fallout Shelter, Fallout 76, and then every other Fallout game. So that one, I think there is a legitimate argument on why that one should be made, and I think it would do decent. It probably isn't the most expensive thing to make, but again, I don't know anything about video game making, so maybe it isn't. But that's my 2 cents there.
No, I like this idea a lot. I mean, I feel like one part that's immediately intriguing about it is the kinds of things you can go, because obviously there's like caves you could go into, but I just feel like having a dungeon that's just like a grocery store sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like a blown up school or something like that, just getting weird locations that's different than just like catacombs and crypts that we've dungeon crawled in like a million times before. So I like that idea. I was thinking of do you guys know Darkest Dungeon? Have you played or seen that game?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that aesthetic for me would be like perfect for a Fallout one, where it's pretty zoomed in on the characters. You have your party of like maybe 4 people. You're choosing like who's in front with the melee, with the power gloves, who's in the back with like the hunting rifle. And then you have like the insanity meter and stuff, which could work with like radiation. Your characters could die or change over time or go insane or all this kind of fun stuff. So I think something like that would be really fun. Just really like boiled down to like one part of what Fallout is, because as you mentioned, it is kind of an everything game. You can kind of do whatever you want with it, but really I mean the dungeon crawling, looting, like that is such a fun part of the game that is like part of the gameplay loop, and so I think to really focus in on it could be really fun. So I like that pitch a lot.
Yeah.
Taylor, what do you got for us? Do you have a location, or do you have a genre now? Where are you at?
Oh, buddy, I got a location for you.
Hell yeah. That better be better than Siberia.
I don't know if you've ever called me buddy before, so I feel like you're about to drop something hot right now.
So, yeah, I definitely misinterpreted the fine.
So did I.
parameters of
So
this
did I.
question.
It's totally fine.
But yeah, so we're gonna be we're going Fallout Area 51. That's what I want. Now, hear me out.
Oh, okay.
Hear me out. I know Area 51. I think it's been loosely mentioned in the Fallout franchise before, but so I want this to take place in and around Area 51. So I know we got New Vegas, and that's obviously the same state, whatnot. So this is going to be, it's going to be in Nevada, more areas, larger map, and I want it to also include New Vegas as a location. But I want this to be taking place like 100 years after the previous New Vegas game.
Oh,
You
okay.
can be beyond, like later on. But Area 51 is still like no one goes there because there's some weird shit that goes on there, and that's gonna segue into the next game, the sequel. But I'll get to that after it comes back to me.
Okay. I like that. So I guess you're Area 51. So you want to see some aliens, is what you're alluding to.
Yes, that's what I want.
'Cause
to
that-
see.
Which we've had
was
before, right?
That was a DLC for Fallout 3, I believe. It was Mothership
Yeah.
Zeta, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'd never
You got
actually
it.
played that DLC, but yeah, I remember there's like a ray gun and like crazy things like that in there. So I think that makes sense, and it's been a long time since they've like maybe 76 has some of that. I don't remember that in Fallout 4. I don't think New Vegas had any of that either. So it's actually been like a long time since we've dabbled in the alien stuff actually. So I feel like that is kind of primed and ready, and people like that probably is the most memorable Fallout DLC other than like maybe Nuketown or something like that. Nuketown. Yeah, not Nuketown.
Is
That's
that what it's
Nuka
called?
County.
Oh, because Nuka
Nuka?
Cola. That's what it is, right?
No,
Yeah,
Nuka. It wouldn't be town. It'd be Nuka. The amusement park. Nuka
Google
Park?
it.
What the frick
Pull
was
it
that
up.
called?
Yeah.
Nuketown, USA. You got it.
It's called Nuketown?
Yeah,
It doesn't
Central
sound
Hub
right.
and Raider Stronghold.
Even though it's an amusement park? That's kind of weird.
It's
but okay.
within the
Down.
Nuka World amusement park. So you got Nuketown.
Nuka World.
within Nuka World
There
amusement
we
park.
go. Oh, okay, that's what it was. I could not pull that for the life of me. But yeah, no, Mothership Zeta, one of the more iconic DLCs that the series has had. So I like that pitch a lot. That's a good one.
That was back in the day when I think I told you this on this cast actually, Dylan. My history with Fallout 3, how I never was able to get the game. I one time went to EB Games front counter. You have to be 17 and older to get this, and I was like, can I call my mom? And no, she has to be here. And I never bought that game. It was so tragic. But I would just watch YouTube gameplay of Fallout 3, and Mothership Zeta was one of them. I remember just watching the whole, and I'm like, there's aliens in this game. This is amazing. And I still can't play it. Sad.
Yeah. Okay, my next pitch. I'm pitching here a short Fallout game. A Fallout game that is not an endless city builder. That's not an open world that you can spend hundreds of hours in. I'm pitching a 6-hour-long campaign. And what is a attribute of Fallout that I think for me really came in strong with Fallout 4. Sometimes in Fallout 4 there'd be like a thunderstorm or radiation storm, whatever, and that game and then when you turn your radio off, the music, Einen Zur, whatever that composer's name, is just popping off. That game can be fucking scary at times, when you're in the middle of nowhere, there's ghouls and stuff. So I'm pitching a short Fallout horror game.
Fuck yeah. That was one of mine. I'm so glad you
Okay,
went there.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Great minds. Yeah, I'm thinking, 6-8 hours maximum. You like what do you think? Like maybe you start like you're locked up in like a raider den or something.
First person? Is that what you're thinking? 'Cause that's
I think
where my mind
I think
was
first
going.
person.
Like an
I think first
Outlast
person.
type. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Outlast for sure. You're trapped up. You've been locked up by raiders. You're in a janky little prison cell. Maybe some shit happens with the raiders. Maybe like an adventurer comes in and like busts open your cage or something, which is something that happens so much in the games. You bust people out of cages and whatnot. And then I feel like maybe that's who you take. That's who you are. You become this guy and you have to get out. Maybe you have to go through a town, go through some cave areas, got to deal with some freaky mutants and freaky creatures and stuff like that. But you're just like a really depowered version. I think that's the important part here is that you're just super weak. You're like a level 1 character and you never progress past that. Maybe you get
100%.
a shank. Maybe you get a pistol with like, 12 bullets in it or something, and that's all you have. But I think really focusing on like that resource gathering, the scariness, a nice tight horror experience could be cool.
No, yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it. Just there's so many instances in that game. Maybe you go into like I don't know, superstore type venue, and then there's like the mindless ghouls, or like the ghouls that are like their mind are gone, so they're like zombies essentially.
Yeah.
Those are terrifying sequences, and the thing that makes it not so scary is, okay, I'm like level 90 and I have a shotgun that's all modded out and I can blow these things up. But as you said, like completely depowered. I think that's something, especially in like the recent titles, that's so great about Fallout is the crafting. Well, I guess it might just be Fallout 4, and then maybe Fallout 76 and stuff like is where they introduced.
I think you can make ammo in Fallout 3, but like yeah, Fallout 4 really evolved that for sure.
And like I love just like the like pipe type weapons that you would make in that game, that they just look so janky. So like if you could just like craft like very basic stuff like that, but then again, like you said, like you have like 6 bullets and they're like so hard it's like finding batteries in Outlast. Like it's it's when you find those, it's like the holy grail. This is my lifeline here. But no, I and like the world, like super mutants and stuff like that, those would be so terrifying if you're not like a super jacked up level 90 character, you know what I mean? So I think great minds, like you said.
And
we were
like,
on the same wavelength there.
A scripted sequence of a death claw like chasing you and like smashing the environment, and you don't kill it in this, I don't think. Like you would in a regular
it's
game.
It's like the xenomorph in Alien Isolation.
Like you're just trying to escape from this thing, and I think that could be really engaging. But yeah, like I think a big part with horror games, maybe specifically Resident Evil, but obviously it's in the genre in general, is resource like management and like limited inventory space, and that is definitely a thing in Fallout, Elder Scrolls, all the Bethesda games. And so I think that just kind of pairs nicely as well, of just really limited gear, limited things like that. Even just trying to find food, finding like a squirrel stew, whatever you can manage, could be really fun. So yeah, I think that would be fun. That's one that I think is extremely unlikely. I don't see them doing that. And again, I also don't think Bethesda would be the ones to make it, but I don't know. There's got to be someone under the Xbox studios who is down to make a weird horror Fallout game, and I want to see it.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe
Even if it's
lifetime.
like, even if it doesn't happen through Bethesda and Fallout, and then somebody makes like an inspired one where it's like, this seems like it could be a Fallout game, but they like, instead of Vault Tech, it's like bunker tech or something like that, like it's one of those things. They might have a lawsuit down the line, but like still it's a really great horror game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great pick. Well, that would have been my next one, so I'm gonna mosey on down to all right, I am not a good side-scrolling arcade fighter type character player, but man, there's some great arcade fighters out there. League of Legends is put one out, actually. It's on the beta. I really want to play it. It looks amazing. The art style looks so cool. Give me a freaking I also said Vault Tech. Fallout side-scroller arcade fighter game. Probably very unlikely, but again, crazy roster of characters. It's kind of tough because for these, I feel like you usually have characters that are like people know about, and for Fallout, like, would you use characters from the show? Would they be like iconic characters from all of the titles, and all of the titles probably like 3 and onward, because nobody has really played Fallout 2 or 1. Sorry to the people that have actually played those games, but like I don't know his name, but the ghoul from like Walton Goggins characters from the show. You could have Ellen Purnell's character, which her name, so you're gonna drop it on me right now.
Lucy.
Lucy. There you go.
Or Maximus,
characters
as
like
well.
that. And like there's the big mech people. I feel like you could have like a small but decent roster. It might just go the multiverses route if it ever happens. It just dissolves and
do you have like Super Mutant? Happens. Do you have like Deathclaw in here as well? Like, are we going?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. I think like you could even have like Vault Boy as one of them. Like just very goofy looking.
Vault Boy
type character
you can play as in Smash Bros. So that's the it's there.
Really,
you can. Yeah,
Vault
it's one of the me costumes you can purchase.
Okay,
you can also purchase the Dragonborn costume.
Oh damn, Dovahkiin. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Again, very, very, very low chance of happening. Probably less than the horror, but I was trying to go to different game routes, and just a side scroller arcadey type fighter. 2.5D if you want to be a little bit special.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Because I feel like for me, Fallout and the combat is so much about guns and ranged combat. So like I don't know, are we just giving characters like power gloves and like the power sledgehammers, but then like give them a couple guns to use, or do you think it is
Yeah.
more of like a ranged combat, like a zoner type game?
I think it would probably mostly be like still the like mostly melee type fighter game. But I mean, even in Mortal Kombat, they've had characters that are like cowboys and they have like guns in their kit, and it just fits with their move set. Obviously, they still throw a punch here and there, but like their abilities are all around like projectiles and stuff like that. Even Smash, right? Like they have characters that are more projectile based, like Samus and
Mega
the
Man
like
and
like
stuff,
that.
yeah.
So I don't have a lot of, like when I'm pitching this to Bethesda and they ask me questions, I'm not ready for question 2, 3, 4, but I'm just throwing it out there. I think there's some more wrinkles to iron out, but yeah, it would definitely be more of a melee fighter game. But melee class is one I've always kind of wanted to play a character around in Fallout. I never usually do because I just like the guns in that game, especially when you get into like the sciencey type weapons. They're just really fun to use. Like the mini nuke launcher, stuff like that. But I've just seen some gameplay of people make like full melee characters, and it just looks so fun. Maybe
I
that's
love
where
those
my mind was going with
playthroughs.
that.
I've done a couple like only melee weapons and grenade playthroughs, or like explosives, and those are super fun playthroughs.
The
I
melee
love them.
takedowns in those games are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even like Skyrim has some ridiculous melee takedowns where they just grab them and like suplex them onto the ground.
Yeah,
it's
they're
just
so
pretty
janky.
goofy.
Let me add a little addendum thought on this fighting game, because you've heard of Marvel vs. Capcom, but what about Fallout versus Elder Scrolls? What about a fighting
man.
game where we blend the rosters? This is where we finally get a crossover between the two, other than Smash Bros., which technically already has that. What if? That way you can get a bunch of melee characters, you can get some more of the focused ranged characters with the Fallout universe, have them duel off against each other. Now
I like
that
it.
would be a freaking game. And Starfield, maybe you get like one character in there or something.
Oh, absolutely. You can have like Alduin in there. I don't know how you play him, but
Alduin versus Deathclaw. Oh,
Deathclaw. Yeah, it's
yes.
right there.
Oh,
Godzilla
I
versus
want
King
that
Kong.
so
Come on.
bad. Yeah, Dovahkiin versus Pip Boy. That'd be so good. Yeah. Bald Boy.
I love it.
Oh, that's good stuff. I'm down for that for sure. That'd be fun as hell. Taylor, what do you got for us?
All right, so you explore Nevada, Area 51, and then you find, hey, there's a ship, and the game ends with you getting on this ship, and then they announce, hey, Fallout.
Oh, this is
New
your direct
Moon.
sequel. Sorry.
Oh yeah, this is a direct sequel. Fallout New Moon coming next year. So you are you're on a ship. You're going to the moon, basically. Fallout game taking place.
When you said ship, I thought you meant like a boat. So it's like, oh, okay. Like Black Flag or something equivalent.
Now wait till my third game pitch.
Oh.
Let's go around. Because we got the boat.
I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of us. I'm getting ahead of us.
That's interesting. Wow, that because I don't know. There must be something in the lore. Because like, when did the bombs drop? Was it? It must have been before the first moon landing, right?
It seems like the game is kind of around that time, right? Like 60s?
It's
Or is
pretty
it
damn
earlier?
close.
50s?
Yeah. So
Something like
this
that.
concept would be, okay, you get up there, you take this shuttle ship that goes to the moon, and then you find out, hey, a bunch of vault tech people set up a vault on the moon, and they've been living out here and whatnot. And then you find like they've got like their surface areas that you can patrol on and whatnot. But it's very hazardous because it's barren, it's desolate, so it's got a lot of the classic Fallout kind of environment stuff. But you also find like, hey, they tried setting up what would you call it, like atmospheric processing stations to create like a mini atmosphere.
Terraforming. They got
That's
stuff
the
like
one.
that
Yeah,
going on.
trying to do like very basic terraforming to the moon. So I just
like
think
it.
that would be really cool to kind of like check it out. And like again, you could expand on having aliens out here too, running around up on the surface of the moon.
I like it. I feel like there's so much space, like concepts in Fallout. Like Red Rocket is in our background right now, and rocket ships. I feel like there's many characters that have like again, it's like the retro but futuristic type aesthetic to it, where it just seems like a space type centered thing. So I feel like they must have had rockets in there at some point. It's tough for me to like think that they would ever do a game that's just in space though, like no ties to Earth. So I feel like my middle ground would be like, let's get like a space elevator type thing, and so you have like your Earth concept where it's like that's the start of the game. You have this massive space elevator, which I think is just such a cool sci-fi concept that I'm like, I don't think they can actually work like physics wise, space elevator. But what a cool idea, space elevators. You take that up, it's a whole level in and of itself. But then that's when you get into like the space, and then maybe that's when you can expand over to your moons and Mars or whatever. It doesn't have to be you're going out to the whole solar system, but just to have a little bit of a bridge middle ground, and then I get my space elevator because I want more of that.
I feel like
in the media.
But doesn't like the Earth and the Moon like rotate? Like how does
Well,
your
they do.
elevator? How does the elevator?
I said they probably don't work, Dylan, in real life. Okay, but come on, let me have this.
Maybe all the bombs stopped the Earth's rotation, which I don't think is true because there is a day-night cycle. But I don't know.
The day the Earth stood still, and we made.
Taylor's pitch is or in the first game was 100 years later. So a lot of things could have changed in that time, such as the Earth and the Moon ceasing to
physics
rotate.
just changed. Yeah.
Apparently, so I just looked it up. Apparently, there is the USSA, which is like Fallout's equivalent of NASA. That I mean, because NASA's I guess in DC, but I don't think it's a location in Fallout 3 that you can go to. But I guess it was introduced during one of the Fallout 76 DLCs as like a concept. So they've definitely dabbled with it, and it's funny that timing kind of makes sense with how obsessed with NASA and that aesthetic they were for Starfield. So it makes sense that like now in Fallout they like kind of I don't know what came first, the Fallout or the Starfield with the NASA references, but obviously a lot of connections there. So that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, me too. Space elevator though, you gotta have one of those.
Yes. Okay, my last one. Well, actually, I had one mini one, but I don't want to. In case Kirklin has it, I won't steal that. I'll do one, and this one, this is a bit of a cheap one, but to be honest, one of mine was definitely gonna be like a Darkest Dungeon like roguelike, and we kind of already covered that with your pick, Kirkland. So I'm gonna go for one here that this one feels actually maybe the most realistic to me, and this is bringing back Fallout Tactics, which already exists. It is a game. You can go buy it on Steam. I think I have it on Steam. I don't think I've ever booted it up. But I think that this seems like potentially likely in a way. I mean, I remember a few years ago they did like the Gears of War tactics games. It feels like a lot of series get this, or a lot of IP get this, like a tactics game. And there's so much potential there. And, I think especially after like Midnight Suns, like tactics games, they don't need a grid anymore. Grids are a thing of the past. Let's just cop. And this is also me just wanting more Midnight Suns games that I'm never going to get. So I'm trying to find them anywhere I can because I love that game so much. But yeah, I think Fallout, it's just so primed for it. I mean, already like the combat itself in the games is already slowed down to turn-based because of like VATS, right? And it is like very slow-paced and strategic. And think about that. Like when you're aiming in VATS, it's like, okay, I have a 60% chance to hit the guy's arm, 20% to hit the head. That's like a tactics game right there. That's like 100%. XCOM already, right? And I think that's fun because like not a lot of games that I've played a million tactics games, let you have that granularity of like, you aim at a guy and you have a 70% chance to hit. That's the decision. But I think it'd be fun to adopt the VATS part of it and say, okay, I'm going to aim at this guy and I'm going to aim specifically at this part of his body.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a thing that tactics did. It probably did because that's, I think, always been in Fallout. But yeah, I think that like there's a lot of potential there for something different that I haven't seen before. So that would be really cool. Or even just take the tactics game that exists. And I haven't played it, so I don't know how well it would work if you just gave that a remaster or an HD remake and like put it on consoles and stuff and just made it a bit more modernized. But maybe that's a place to start. Maybe that's a bit cheaper, easier to do, and then they can see what the reception is. If people want more, then they can make a full-on game. But yeah, I think it's it just works so well for the genre. And again, you could do the fun party building stuff, the dungeon stuff. You could make it a roguelike if you want, or you could go story based. You could use known characters. You could go all new characters. Like there's so much potential in terms of if you want to focus on the story or just have it be kind of in the background and it just be more about like doing run based things, which so many games have done with the tactics genre lately. So yeah, maybe a bit of a cop out because the spinoff already exists, but I mean also the settlement builder does too, and I already ripped that off. So I'm out here saying that you guys have already you're just an inch away from gold. You just got to keep digging a bit, and I think that there is some potential here. So yeah, Fallout Tactics. Don't call it 2. Just call it Fallout Tactics. Actually, call it Fallout New Tactics, and then we can get the New Vegas moniker in there too. Borrow the Nintendo stupid naming convention. So yeah, Fallout New Tactics. That's my pitch.
Fallout New Tactics, subtitle, Space Elevator, because that's our location that we're in. And then you go up the elevator, different levels. I think we're cooking. I like it. I think what you mentioned, it is probably the one that makes the most sense considering they've already done it of the past. But again, I don't know anything about video game making, but it seems like it's pretty easy to make in comparison. So easier.
And that was in like
elevator.
that was in a pre-Fallout 3 world, so that was a long time ago that they did Tactics. I mean,
Wow.
when was Fallout Tactics released? Fallout Tactics came out in a year known only as 2001. Wow, 2001,
Ooh.
eh? That's crazy.
Fuck, Spider-Man year, Lord of the Rings year.
Super Smash Bros. Melee year. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Wow. Okay,
Cool.
Kirklin, do you have any other pitches to grant us?
I have a soft one I don't really like, and I kind of, the more I think about it, I feel like this is kind of what Fallout 76 is. I wrote Fallout like a Destiny style game, which is kind of like a
Oh, okay.
like a raiding game, online multiplayer. Like specifically you're doing like raids and dungeons and stuff like that. I feel like that's what 76 is. I've never played it, but
Yeah, it has
I imagine
events
they have
that
some-
are
yeah.
similar. I mean, I've never played Destiny,
Scratch
but
it.
it's.
yeah.
I got
We're done.
another one for
We're done
you
with that.
if you want to rip.
I got
on
another one. I got another one.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you might like this one, Dylan. I'm going a 2D roguelike.
Okay.
I just call this one Fallout Spelunky.
Okay, well, yeah, obviously you're speaking to me now. Yeah.
But like, come on! You could even just have like Pip-Boy, like the Vault Boy character as your main character, and you're just going on these roguelike adventures, and you're fighting death claws. Like it could be very cartoony, but I think there's something there to it, and I think there's enough like sources you can pull from, whether it's locations like you're actually just going down vaults, or maybe I don't know, other areas of the world that are in the apocalyptic regions of the world. You could have like specific levels that are like New Vegas levels, or maybe like when you're in, where are you in Fallout 4? You're kind of in like the
Boston.
Boston area. Like you could have different levels like that. You could have your space elevator level. You could do so many things with this. I don't know. It just seems like something that isn't too hard to do, but maybe it wouldn't be very successful, so they don't want to invest in that. But I don't know what Bethesda wants to do these days, because they're not putting out any big. Well, I say that I've never played Starfield, which came out not too long ago. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be good. I think that's what Fallout needs, is not Bethesda right now. Like, not to go away forever, but like they're just these homies. They're busy with Elder Scrolls. We don't want to pull them away from that. So
yeah, it's
I
true.
like this. I mean, I think a fun angle with this too is, on top of just regular roguelike gameplay, there's been like a couple of these like inventory management roguelikes. That's been like a little mini subgenre. There's like Backpack Hero, which is almost like a Resident Evil inventory system, or like Diablo inventory system roguelike, where it's like you're picking what you want to keep, and you want to keep these certain weapons, and if you put this weapon next to this potion, it'll give you bonus 15%, whatever, right? And it's like a roguelike just based around like that as the core mechanic, and just
Loop
all
Hero
in
kind of
on
has
that.
something like that too, doesn't it? Where you pick up an item, and then you have to like decide if you want to keep it. I feel like maybe I'm thinking more of the building. Like I put
Which
this
games
next to this. Loop Hero.
Yeah, a little bit.
Probably not so much to what you're saying, but it just reminds
It's a
me of that.
different. But you're right. That one's, it's not really like necessarily focused on that, but that is a part of it for sure. With like your little inventory pocket, there is like positioning of things, and so I think that would be a system that could work pretty well with this too. Again, just trying to choose which things you want to keep, which things you want to drop, fits in with what Fallout already does. But I guess the thing is, like, I don't really think of Fallout as like a very movementy game or a platformy type of game, and that's what I normally think of when I think of these 2D roguelikes. But it could be more of a combat focused one, because there are a lot of those as well. I think especially if you do a Vault Boy, I see him jumping around like crazy. Like he obviously in all the little animations on your on your thing, he's always doing like very like platformer character things. He's looking like Mario, doing like thumbs up and all these crazy poses and stuff. So I think that could be quite fun. I like that.
Hell yeah. I knew I'd get you with the Spelunky. That was
Wow.
yeah. Easy pitch.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. So
The
if
third
the
game
moon-
of
yeah,
your
the third game.
The trilogy. Okay.
This is a prequel now. So
Oh shit. Okay.
before the space elevator.
Yeah, before the space elevator, before they invented space elevators. It's called Fallout Triassic.
Oh.
So you guys, you're not
Whoa.
vault hunters, but you're survivors that left your vault and you went up on a ship. And this is inspired because Gears of War 3, you have
Not a space elevator though, like a ship.
not space elevator. No, it's
Like
a
a
boat.
spaceship or a boat
Boat on
ship.
water.
Okay, yeah.
Boat on water. So
Boat on
this
water,
is
okay.
inspired by
Is
Gears of War
Bar?
3.
Is that where we're going?
Off the coast of Costa Rica is what I wrote. Yeah. So it's an Isla Nublar inspired theme. So
Hell yeah.
the ship runs a reef, and everyone else, like abandoned ship, dies, whatever, and the ship crashes, and you wake up on the island, and so you find that there is a vault on the island. Didn't work out very well, and you find that okay, there are dinosaurs on this island and other like familiar species too, but. Yeah, I thought that it would be kind of a cool concept just to bring in dinosaurs, and some of them get like mutated and stuff like that because of the radiation and all that chaos and whatnot. Yeah, so again, like Gears of War 3 is what I pulled from with this because when that starts off, the coalition soldiers, all their remnants are basically on these big ships, and they have like farms that they're growing on these ships and stuff like that, and it's safe from the lambent and the hordes, so or the locust hordes. So well, that'd be a really cool kind of concept, just humanity just trying to thrive on boats as opposed to just the vaults. So
I like that. I mean, I think, a big part of Fallout, and I think what I want from it in the future is it to just not be so American centric. And I know that is a big part of it, and is, a commentary on capitalism and specifically capitalism within America. So it makes a lot of sense, and the game is very centered around those things, and it's very important to its themes and all that. And we've had a couple games or DLCs or whatever that have ventured elsewhere, but I feel like we need more of that. I want to explore more of the world, and I think because Canada is just destroyed. I think Canada is just annexed. It doesn't even exist anymore, right? But there's other places, and yeah, give me some islands. And like Far Harbor, I think was a weird island, and that worked out. That was a really good DLC, and it kind of had those mysterious vibes to it. So I think that there's some good potential there. I'm liking this.
perfect.
I love it.
Yeah. My last one, and I don't really have much thought out for this, and it kind of goes in with my settlement thing, but I was thinking like a tower defense game could be interesting.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
that being like a smaller scale thing, but just like building out your settlements in a way that's like good to defend against raiders. So obviously that does fit in with my just the settlement one I had in the first place. But I do think that there's a lot of potential there, with just like, I don't know, specifically like the turrets and the robots that exist, or like hiring certain units and landmines and all these different things. I just feel like that could be fun. Although I don't, when I think of it, I don't have like a mental image in my head like I've had for a lot of our other ideas. So I don't know. I got to riff on it a bit more, but I think there's maybe some potential there. Could be fun.
No, that's a good one. I feel like Fallout 4 kind of has a little bit of that element, because like when you have your settlements, if you ever played that part of the game, I know a lot of people didn't. But then like raiders would just come raid your settlement,
Right.
and then you'd get like a notice. Raiders are so then you'd go there. And then if you have turrets set up, people that are living there, like they would be set up on defenses. So
Right.
there's kind of that aspect to it. I like the pitch.
Yeah, I remember having that. I forget what the mission is called or where it is in the story, but you have to defend this big, huge area, and a bunch of Mirelurks, whatever, like storming this castle. And I just remember like spending an hour just throwing landmines everywhere, preparing all the different areas in Fallout 4, and that was a really fun mission, very memorable one. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential there, and I don't know if that would be a first-person thing. It could be. It could just like take the settlement system from Fallout 4 and turn it into a full-on tower defense game, or it could be the classic kind of top-down tower defense that we normally think of. But yeah, could be a fun idea. Do you guys have any more pitches for genres? And if not, what were your original location pitches that you were thinking of, if you haven't mentioned them already?
I actually just deleted my list, funny enough, but I'll go off the
From your
top here.
brain?
Control Z.
I had yeah. Okay.
Control Z.
It's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. Okay. I got Fallout Siberia, which I already pitched, because
Yes.
come on,
Okay.
just in the Siberian
speaks for
wherever. It doesn't have to be in the big cities. I feel like you could have a little bit of in between. You have like the big
itself. It's
Moscow.
kind of just a wasteland, I feel like.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In the deep side, but you could also have some cities. But
Sure, yeah.
whatever. And then we're going Fallout Japan because I'm obsessed with
Yep.
Japan after going there. And come on, the architecture there's so many cool things. You have like the neon Tokyo aesthetic going on. There's just so much. I don't know how that works specifically, like lore wise. They don't really talk about other areas of the world too much. You mentioned like it's very American centered. Canada's nuked, so yeah, we're not going there. But I think that would be a really, really fantastic one. And then I can't remember what my last one was, but honestly, scratch it. We're just going Fallout Space Elevator. That's the whole game is on the space elevator now. That's where we're going.
Jesus. Oh my God. Get this guy started about
I
space
think
elevators.
There's a fantastic graphic novel that Shay lent me like when we were early dating that was called Ladder Top. It was like left on a cliffhanger and I never got the next novel, but it is all about Ladder Top is like the space elevator. And I feel like I was just obsessed with that book back in the day. So there you go. That's my
yeah, you're like picturing sequels that you've never read before. You're like, I need to see this story through. Where does it go?
yeah, it goes to Fallout. That's where it goes.
Goes to Fallout. Taylor, how about you? Did you have any other locations that you thought would be particularly good? I mean, we got to get a Fallout Kelowna, obviously. That would be the best.
Oh yeah, Ogopogo and everything in there.
Oh yes, final boss.
Ogopogo versus Deathclaw.
I'm down.
Other locations. Honestly, I was thinking of something foreign, like Japan or something like that. But you beat me to it, Kirklin. That's why I kind of steered like, okay, let's kind of branch off from Earth and kind of go with something a little more fantastical, like space. I'd love to go to other planets. I think that'd be really, really awesome. But that it might be a bit too Starfieldy, so I definitely would like to avoid that.
Yeah, because I wondered if, how much Starfield would if it would try and connect a world to Fallout or Elder Scrolls in some way, and if there's any Easter eggs, and the answer is not really, but I don't know. I think that's what spin-offs are for. Spin-offs are there to do the weird, freaky stuff, right? Because we know the mainline next mainline game is going to be in Miami. It's probably just going to copy, GTA 6. But yeah, I feel like that's what the spin-offs are for. It's for the freaky stuff. So that's good. Give us something different that we're not used to, not just U.S. City, which is pretty much anything other than that is a freaky environment in the Fallout universe because it's just so America-centric. So
I wouldn't mind it being even a submerged kind of experience. Hey, are the vaults limited only to being on land, or what if there's some underwater vaults too? But then maybe that's a little bit too Bioshocky,
Hey, for a spin-off, fair game. BioShock ain't releasing games. I mean, they say they're making
BioShock.
4. A space elevator goes up, but it also goes down. It could go down
That's
to the,
right
to the
bottom of the
Rapture.
Marianas Trench.
Fallout Atlantis or something like that. Find this legendary vault.
Now you're talking to me. This was a good time. Kirkland, I feel like you had something on the tip of your lips there, I saw.
I randomly just pulled up something that I saw about the Game Awards. Dylan, did you see a game called Ontos or Ontos? ONTOS?
Yes, I did mention that you were probably interested in it because of
it's from the same makers as Soma. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm super hyped on that now. Featuring Stellan Skarsgård. Oh, come on, that's on my radar now.
Amazing, yeah.
It looks so good. Okay, sorry, we're still live. I wanted to mention that while we're.
No, I'm glad you did because I did play their most recent game in Amnesia: The Bunker, and I love that game. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm very much intrigued by Ontos. I still have not played Soma, even though I need to, but maybe before
we should do a retro because
I
would love to
Soma
replay
retro.
that game.
That'd be super fun.
Let's do it.
So chart that on the calendar. That's me making a mental note. I will chart it on the calendar. Boys, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun to do. Tune in. We're going to be covering Fallout Season 2. We're going to cover Episode 1, and then we're taking a couple weeks off, so we won't cover Episodes 2 and 3 as they drop, but then we'll come back with probably Episode 4, and then the rest of the season. Me and Travis. You guys aren't watching that. Oh, I guess, Taylor, you're off
for Fallout?
And Kirkland's not watching it
for
right?
Fallout? So we're asking?
Yeah.
I will watch it. Not for reviews, though. It'll be a little bit later. Yeah.
Well, you got me and Travis, so we'll cover that whenever. But we'll cover the first episode tomorrow. So tune in for that. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, boys, for joining me. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.